I did a little too much gardening, weeding, pulling, trimming, so my back hurts. My pelvic floor was tight last night. So follow me, I'm 10 months postpartum, for how I can release, breathe, and do a little bit of movement to support my core, support my healing scar, all of those things. I'm gonna start with a set of alpha balls. Shout out to Jill Miller and her therapy balls, they're the best.
So I start here by getting settled on my back. This for me is a really restful position and allows me to immediately release any back tension that I'm holding. This may or may not be the position that you prefer to start in, so find a place where you can relax, take a few slow breaths, and then I bring the alpha balls right underneath my kind of lower ribs. And I find that I, again, get some really good relief by going side to side. So I kind of shift my pelvis side to side, and I get this nice cross fiber from one side to the other. It gives a little rotation, and I just slowly work my way down from my lower ribs right to the edge of my pelvis. It'll start to get a little bony around the back of your pelvis, your PSIS. So listen to where you need to stop or limit. I do a little tuck and tilt there, so you can experiment with what kind of movement feels good or if it's just pressure. And then I go back up to where I'm a little bit tighter, right at that kind of low rib, just below the bra line. And again, I waggle a little bit more. So anywhere from that, basically from bra line to belt line is the cue that is often used. And find your sections or segments that are a little bit tighter. Take some breaths. Take your time. I go up and down a little bit here with the use of my feet. It's not a lot. And then I go through another segment and then remove that. And then going into some scar work and my incision, just kind of starting with some touch and some gentle kind of up and down, back and forth, feeling where it's a little restricted. And then I start with some big circles. I'm working my way across, and then I'm shearing back and forth. I'm 10 months postpartum, so I'm kind of doing a variety of things here. When I was doing this, I didn't feel like I was going very fast. So I'm moving at a pace that feels good for me, but it might look fast depending on how much scar work you've done. I then go back for a few more circles. I'm going in both directions across the entirety of my scar. I also have a lot of tension above my external incision. We have an internal incision that is usually higher than the external incision. And so I do a lot of work along there too. I'm kind of breathing. I have found that my rectus abdominis, especially on my right side, is a lot tighter. So I do a little bit of just sort of holding, a little bit of compression and breathing. And I really like that upward movement. And then I settle and I come over and come into active child's pose. In active child's pose, I bring the elbows in contact with my knees. I'm on my forearms. I'm driving my knees up into my elbows. I'm pushing my elbows into the ground to really find some protraction and open up back body. Inhaling into the back and exhaling to really activate. I shake my head and release out tension. I do that for about 3 breaths. And then I come onto all fours and I come into some thoracic rotation, dropping down to one forearm or elbow. And I think of a little half cat here. I'm rounding my back. And again, really opening back body, pressing through the floor through both hands. Inhaling into the back, exhaling to engage and wrap through the front. And take about 3 breaths on each side. Here I'm doing both sides evenly. And then I tuck my toes under, I come into a rounded cat position, and then I shift my body weight back and I stay there. And this is active cat. Again, continuing to open back body, activate front body, no tension in the neck. I'm really finding work from serratus to abs, and then I come back to active child's pose again. And when I do this the second time, I can feel my deep abs a little bit more. So again, really getting the knees to drive up and the abdominals to draw up and in. Inhaling into back body for a little bit more ease. And then I was really tight, more through my left side. So I come into this left-sided rotation, actually I should say more through my right side. I'm really trying to open up my right side ribs here and activate through my left side. So I just do that rotation on one side. And from here, I step back into plank, and I keep all of that work that I just did. I really try to connect to my front body, activating and opening back body as I breathe, even though I'm not in that rounded shape. You can see I have a little bit of neck tension. I'm always working through that. I hold for about 6 to 8 breaths. I'm trying to just count and move slow, really find that sturdiness and scan through my body. I come down and I do a few Scap push-ups again for some of that neck tension and just kind of upper neck and shoulder tension. So I'm bringing shoulder blades together and pushing them wide, trying to minimize any movement through the elbows, though of course I'm getting some. And then I go back into my plank, and here I decide to play with a little bit of single leg movement. Make sure I can keep some stability even as I bring in a little bit of dynamic single leg movement, and really thinking of some cross body connection. For me, I have a little bit of DRA right around my navel, and so I always try to add in at this point a little bit of single leg work. I then just open up my wrists and my forearms a bit. I did a lot of gripping with that gardening work. And then I just take some nice, easy, relaxed breaths here in a narrow, knees narrow child's pose. So I find that continues to just help to open up my low back. But now I'm doing some really full, relaxed belly breaths, feeling my pelvic floor and abdomen expand on inhale. I'm not contracting as I exhale, but just feeling a nice, easy release. You can take your time with all of these in any way that you need. You can pause anywhere, really listen to what your own practice needs. But this is one routine that I came up with. I then come up to stand, take a few breaths, and just place my hands on my body, find some length, look around. A lot of back tension can be associated with some neurologic tension, so softening the eyes can help, and I feel a lot better.